Hi, I'm Christian Guzman, and I approve of the Board Shorts and Banter podcast.
You're on.
All right. What is going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to the Board Shorts and Banter podcast. Today, we have a very special guest. We have the most handsome Olympia qualified athlete in the whole of the UK, Mr. Yemi. How you doing, bro?
I'm great. How you guys doing? My mic low. It looks low on the recording.
Don't worry about it.
But it will it'll sort itself out. Don't worry about it.
Okay, that's fine then. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. You know, it's 2024 started kind of slow, but I think it picked up rather well.
You could say that, mate. You could say that.
I think since the last time we spoke, quite a lot has changed in a bit of a mad way.
Yeah, in a bit of probably the craziest possible way. I think we made history. We became the first classic pro to be qualified for 2025, which is fun.
I didn't think about that. That's sick.
That is pretty sick.
Yeah. So obviously last year we only had Nas holding it down for us, but this year it's obviously going to be me and Nas holding it down. So it's going to be a phenomenal year. My Olympia debut, but his second time going. So we're both going to be aiming high, obviously, because no one wants to lose and Nas wants to do better than last year. So we're aiming for that top 5, baby.
I've seen the transition in Yemi from the depths of prep to now being Olympia qualified, and the radiance that you now have, mate, walking around the gym, chatting, training, smiling. It's good to see, mate.
Lovely. I'm back. I've got my personality back.
Oh, mate, your personality's taken on like a new lease of life. You know,
legit. It's like it's Yemi part 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I love it. But yeah, I mean, and then on top of that, my mum got a pro card this weekend. So
we're gonna tuck into this, but like it's just hot off the press, isn't it, mate? How was that?
Mate, I was like in absolute tears. I remember so she come out to do an individual, right? And she kind of froze up and I was like, pose, and she just started going for her mandatories. And like because of that, right, I think they put her to second place. Then they did one round, and then as soon as they did one round, they were like, put her in the middle. They did one round with her in the middle, and then they sent them all off. And I was like, I just text Ross. I was like, mate, we just won the pro card. He was like, wait, what? No way. And I was like, yeah. And obviously I told Kyan as well, and she was like, that was quick. And I was like, yeah. They haven't done their routines yet, but like,
it's game over.
Yeah. It was long. Like after the conditioning difference was just too much. It was too much for them to handle. So
really.
Yeah, she was absolutely peeled, mate. She was absolutely peeled. I've never seen her inside out in my life.
Nice. Well, did she do was it like a Masters show?
Yeah, so she did the Euro Masters 2 weeks ago. And then that didn't go as well as we wanted. Well, it's hard to say that because it was better than last year. So last year she was getting coached by Rob, Team LRF. And obviously she went to get a card there. And then she ended up doing all 3 age gaps for WPD, and then all 4 age gaps for physique, or 3 age gaps for physique. I can't remember. For figure.
So she went on a lot.
Yeah, so she went on a lot. The figure was after the physique, and physique didn't go well, which is her class. So she got I think she only placed in one of them, and it was 5th. And then the rest and then in figure she placed twice. I think she got 4th and 5th. So then obviously when we went to that this year, whilst Ross was coaching her, she got double third. So she did 45 and 50 plus. She got third and third.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously massive improvement just from the sheer fact of placing in the top 3. But it wasn't what we wanted. We wanted that pro card. I think she was a little bit disheartened as well, so she was ready to call it quits and stuff like that. She's been doing this for 9 years, 10 years now, so I think she's getting to that point where she's like, if I don't get it now, I'm never going to get it, right? So yeah, fair enough. Then obviously we did the same show last year as well, and she got second, and she was a much better package than she was at the Euro Masters, which is exactly what happened this time as well. So she came back better than she was at the Euro Masters, and then and then she moved up the places. So basically every show we did, we moved up places with Ross.
Brilliant.
That's mad.
Yeah.
What is her like? Just touch briefly on like her actual competitive history, because in that time she's also birthed you, mate. But when did she actually start competing?
I think she competed like 10 years ago. So like 9, 10 years ago she started.
So
Mad.
she's not birthed Yemi in that time.
Oh,
For those wondering, Yemi
yeah,
is
Yemi
not
is older than 10.
10.
Yeah. So yeah, I think she started competing when I was about 20. I'd like to say
Mad.
19, 20. And then she was competing with the UKBFF. Then while she was over that side, they did the split. And the year that they did the split, she went to South Africa and won the Elite Pro card in the Arnold Classic South Africa.
Right.
So then she did a couple shows. I think she did like one show on that side. So we went back. No, she did two. So she did the Pro Arnold Classic the year after, and then we did the World Champions in China.
Jesus.
And
She's done a few miles then, hasn't she?
yeah. We've done some traveling. And then of course, then after she did the Worlds, I think it was in 2019. So that was when I was doing my first prep. She was like, I want to, we all wanted to get the pro card, the IFBB, the Covenant pro card, the real one. So obviously I did my first season in 2019. She then did, and I won obviously my first show, but then I didn't win the British for UKBFF, of course. And then after that I deviated and started with Two Bros. And then she also did the same show as me. So the first two shows we did in Two Bros is 2021 was the Graftism Pro. Graftism, why did I say Pro? Grand Prix, whatever.
Yeah.
We both won our classes and she won the overall. Then we went to do the Arnold Classic 2021. I got third and she got second. I believe she got second, but out of three girls, I got third out of like 8 dudes.
Have you ever so obviously, would you say your mum is the main reason why you got into it as well? I know we've touched on like your history before, but like obviously I'm trying to like imagine in my head like being able to talk to my mum about like both of us going for IFBB Pro. Like usually it's the flip side of like you try and get your parents to understand what it is you're doing. You're quite literally prepping alongside your mum.
Yeah, she actually got me on side of it because I didn't even want to go to the gym. Like there was a time when she was like, "Yo, you should go to the gym." Like her, like you should go to the gym. Like you'll be really good at bodybuilding. And I was like, "Nah, I'd rather just play video games." I can't lie. So you couldn't even pay me to get into the gym at one point. And then like I was just working. Like I wasn't working or anything like that. So then they just kind of was like, "Listen, we need you to work. So we got you a job in the gym." So I was like, "All right, cool." Yeah. And after like 6 months of working in the gym, I was like, fuck it, I might as well start using it since I'm here. Then like after like a month, I put up a thing on my story. Like after a month, I got like pretty decent results. Like I really looked like I kind of trained. So I was like, well, clearly they were right. So let me just continue. And then after a bit, I just fell in love. So I did my first show after a year and a half. Well, I started my first prep after a year of training. And then obviously by the time I got on stage, it was a year and a half of training, or like a year and 7 months. So yeah, by that point I got the bug, especially coming off stage. I know you know that feeling when you first come off stage, especially if you win. Like it's just like you get this like adrenaline dump, and you just feel a feeling that you're like, I need to feel this again. And yeah, from that point on, it was just like that was the goal. The only thing that mattered was bodybuilding at that point. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go all in. And like, made a couple sacrifices when it comes to like work and stuff like that. Like I've not had, I guess, like the ability to move up the corporate ladder due to my bodybuilding because I was so adamant that I was just going to be a bodybuilder, which, I mean, I guess it worked out quite well.
Yeah. You're not doing bad, mate. You're not doing bad. So we last spoke to you, I believe it was September.
Yeah, just after the Europa.
Yeah. And then you obviously did another show after that, didn't you? What was the gap between the Europa and, was it the British finals?
British finals, yeah. It was 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
Yeah.
And in that 5 weeks, What was the feedback from you, the judges? Was it to like get leaner? What?
Well, okay, so what Tyler put, because I actually didn't go up to Tyler after the show. So we kind of knew. We knew what we needed to do. But then obviously they did the rundown, because I was in the top 4. I got to sit at home and watch Tyler talk about me. And it was very it was nice to hear, actually, to be fair.
I bet that is so surreal though, isn't it?
That's cool.
Like, it's cool enough when it's Tyler just talking about you. But then the way he's talked about me, it was like, fuck, this is cool shit. Like, bro was like, he basically was like, yeah, so this is the reason why second got second. This is the reason why third got third. But goddamn, 4th place. You better look out, because if he comes with a bit more conditioning, with more back, more arms, and more legs, yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. And hearing, the vice president of the IFBB Pro League say that this person is going to be fun to watch. Yeah, you know that you're going to bring something crazy to you.
They've got eyes on now, mate.
Eyes on.
They've got eyes on.
He remembered me from the Europa, the Empro. It gives me, that confidence to know that when I go to Olympia, no matter what decision I make, there's no wrong decision to be made, because it's not like, when people say you have to earn your stripes, to some extent it's already been earned. Obviously, we can still earn more, but if we are in a position where we need to just continue the off-season a little bit longer, then we don't have to worry too much or stress too much. So yeah, he did want us to be sharper, which is what we did. We came in about 2 kilos heavier.
But sharper?
Well, like way sharper. Like probably like one to maybe even 2 kilos sharper. After the British, after the Europa, when I had the pod review, I had gone home. And that time at home, I just was basically just enjoying food for the entire week. So I basically filled up, got up to like 98 kilo, 99 kilo, which the day of the show for the Europa, I was about 90, 91.
You were good then, mate.
Yeah. And then I pulled it all off. I pulled it off 3 weeks, I'd say. So like, basically by 2 weeks out, we was like back to the same condition that we was at the Europa, maybe a little bit sharper, but 4 kilos up. And then I pulled off another 2 kilos from that point. And then we was about as lean as I've ever been by a country mile, to be fair. So like I was probably peeled.
Well, I was taking your post-workout videos and photos for you, mate, and I can attest to you that was definitely the most conditioned I've seen you.
Yeah, which was a big help. Thank you for that, by the way.
That's right, mate. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. And it was crazy to watch, because I was like mind fucked by my weight, because like in my head I was like, okay, I need to be lighter, but I came in heavier whilst being far. I mean, I remember even saying to you, like I'm like way heavier, and it's a bit fucking me up, because in my head I should be like, in reality I should be lighter, but right now I'm far heavier. And I'd say 2 kilos in 5 weeks of like, I don't know if that's even muscle. I don't know what that is. Like, can you gain 5 kilos of 2 kilos of body of like actual muscle in 5 weeks? Like, is that possible?
Mate, with you, we try not to say what's possible, because you just prove people wrong.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, that's my point.
Yeah, crazy. So it was obviously the trained by JP British finals. Did you go up against Oscar?
Yeah, Oscar Young was in.
Yeah. Sick.
It was actually a great time to compete against Oscar as well, because obviously Oscar was very helpful when it was coming on my prep. Like, I had a few things which we can touch on as well come up. But like, obviously Gymshark, I lost Gymshark in between the Europa and the British. So that was like a bit of I didn't know how I was going to be able to stay up here, because obviously, again, it's back to that sacrifice thing that I was talking about earlier. Made some sacrifices, still making some sacrifices just to be closer to bodybuilding, which is up north. And Gymshark was, the main reason why I was able to continue living up here. So losing that sponsorship was a bit of a fucking terrible time, especially where it happens. I was just like, I'll end the fucking month and then we'll see what happens. If I win the show, then maybe it could be a help anyway, or something will work out. It always does, right? So we just said, fuck it. We just sent it for the rest of the month. And luckily VQ came knocking.
Indeed they did. And now both of you two are teammates.
Yes, sir. It's funny,
Yemi,
like, of BQ, I know so many guys already there. It's like,
Yemi, we've got to get Josh in, mate. All right.
yeah. We do. So I'll speak to Lana. We'll get something popping over.
Yeah. Everyone's going to be speaking to Lana about me. She's going to be like, who the fuck's this guy?
She's going to be like, I'm sick and tired of you guys talking about him. Just bring him in.
Yes. Class. So the trade by JP British, was it a pretty like decent lineup? Like, was there anyone in it that we might know? Obviously, we know Oscar. Was there anyone else that was?
Oscar was in the lineup. You guys follow natural bodybuilding, so Patrick.
Patrick Tush.
Yes, Tush. He was in the lineup. He didn't get in the top 5 though. And then who else was? And then Charles.
Charles Bryant.
Yeah, Bryant.
Yeah, he's natural as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a natty. He got 4th.
Yeah.
And then that's natty wise. So those are anything natties. And then who else was in the lineup? Oh yeah, of course, Julio. Yeah, Julio was really good. He just got his pro card that day. And then obviously another guy called Patrick was in 3rd place. But to be fair, like I'll be completely honest. When I saw the lineup, I was pretty sure that it was going to be me and Julio in that finals because obviously he wasn't on the lineup, but I just knew he was going to win the pro card.
Yeah.
And he was the only person that was going to give me a run for my money, which he was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was a lot of great athletes, but I think when it comes to classic, you know, it's hard to beat my structure.
Yeah.
Just like I knew that Julio had enough muscle to stand next to me. So,
yeah.
Whereas like that Patrick, the guy that got 3rd, not the natty guy, he wasn't in shape. He wasn't sharp enough to beat me. That Patrick, the natty guy,
he was peeled,
ridiculous shape, like
peeled out of his tree.
I saw him tanning, and I was just like, "Fuck it!" I had to say to him, "Bro, you are fucking absolutely inside out. Bro. It's crazy to watch." But then like my cameraman, because he was filming me while he was tanning, this is a base coat, right? He goes, "Oh, I thought he was an amateur." I was like, bro, he's just natty.
It is a that's one thing when you get to that level of they call it like natty conditioning, don't they? I feel like the natural guys do have to learn how to get really fucking good at just getting inside out peeled. And I don't know what it is. 'Cause obviously you get like enhanced guys that do kind of reach that level as well, but
I think that natty guys do have. But one, I think you guys need to be leaner to make up for the size.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
But also, I think there's another thing as well. Like, and I was having a conversation with Oscar last year. But you guys don't do shit to your skin.
Yeah.
Like you have to think about all this
yeah.
That when you're pinning GH and you're fucking like in your stomach lining and stuff like that. You know, you're pinning your delts, your lats, your rear delts, your fucking glutes. So all of these things are building up, you know, some sort of wear and tear, let's say, that these natty guys aren't building up. So
yeah,
I think there's a level of like cleanness to the skin as a natty have that it allows you to almost be a lot sharper, regardless of what's going on. You know, obviously, like I do think conditioning to an extent is genetic. So, like for example, you're always going to see Arabian guys coming really sharp. Like you're gonna see people like Michael the Blue, like they always just look sharper.
Yeah.
It's that like dryness into it. That's almost genetic.
100%. Like dryness is genetic. Because even if I got, let's just say Michael the Blue lean, it's just not gonna look like Michael the Blue. Or like a white dude or something like that. Like white guys just have a look to their muscle that just allows them to look more sharp. And then on top of that, black guys are so bubbly. That bubbly look, it kind of takes away the sharp look. It's almost like you get sharpness or bubbly. You don't really get guys being bubbly and sharp. Like even look at Dexter, he was sharp as fuck. Like, you can't say he was in condition. But he was so bubbly, he didn't have that same look as Dorian.
Yeah.
You know, it's just the way the muscle sits in the frame and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild. I think going back to like the obviously with enhanced guys that have to take things as well. Maybe just again, I don't really have the knowledge to be able to say, but like maybe even just like the amount of stuff that people are taking. Obviously, at that level, it creates like a big inflammatory response in the body as well. So maybe there's just a bit more like fluid sat under the skin of like some enhanced guys, you know.
But of course, we have things to get rid of the
Yeah.
They have more gear that they just take, and
There's a
that's
solution.
gone.
There's a
The gear is
solution
making
for
us
everything,
more
bro.
watery, so let's take more gear to make us less watery. Yeah.
That is the thing with it, though, isn't it? It does seem like once you start to add in compounds, you then have to take more things on top of that for those things, and then things for those things, and it's just like, where does it end?
It doesn't.
It does end. The end point is when you're on stage, right? Like,
You can't take any more gear on stage.
on stage, right?
I
So,
thought he was going to say the end point's when you're in a grave, but
Yeah.
no. There's an end point before the grave. I think. But I think the real difference, right, is like it's not like I don't think you're taking things to compensate for other things. I think what's happening is that certain things do have like a stacking effect. Like when you play like a RPG.
Mhm.
Steroids are basically your power-ups. A little bit of test, growth, a little bit of trend, you get a bit harder and drier, a little bit. You know what I mean? Like these things are just like tools.
Yeah, it's like Fallout. If you play Fallout, then you get like charisma, and you got
exactly. It's all
I
those
feel you.
things that you have to just add and put into your arsenal. So it's more like I think the difference between natties and enhanced training. Because I think that a lot of people, they try to act like there's this massive difference. Like as soon as you're on gear, you can just do anything and you're going to grow. Like right now, we're having this massive debate on TikTok, or these science-based lifters are basically coming up to us and saying, you guys have no idea how to train because what you're doing is wrong. Even though we have muscle. So then we go, but we have all this muscle to prove that what we're doing is right. They go, yeah, but you're on gear. So your genetics and your gear is enough to justify your bad training. But it's like, if I train bad with gear and good genetics, I still wouldn't be a high-level athlete. But somehow these people are so convinced that they know better, even though the proof is in the pudding. So they're telling us, right, all you're meant to do is 3 to 5 reps, 2 reps in reserve, 2 sets on everything.
Jesus.
3 to 5 reps or 2 reps in reserve.
Yeah, 3 to 5 reps, 2 reps in reserve, 2 sets on whatever.
That sounds about right, doesn't it, Josh?
I would shrink if that was my volume.
They're
Josh
saying
would
that
like me.
You literally are, and they're saying that too much fatigue is a bad thing. So you need to avoid fatigue to any extent.
I hate them. I hate them. We literally spoke on the last podcast about like all in bodybuilders versus like what was the other
Science-based lifters?
Yeah, all in versus science-based, and science-based lifters are pretty insecure, skinny people that like to lean on studies to make themselves feel better.
Agreed. And like they'll come into your DMs or they'll come into your comments and be like, explain. It's like, I don't need to explain, because forget about explanations. I have results. We don't know enough about the body on either side to have such a strong opinion. More than likely, we're both wrong. It's more likely that we're all training wrong than we're all training right.
I think what they're trying to do is differentiate. Obviously, saying fatigue, but fatigue is like a very broad term, because you can be slightly fatigued, you can be heavily fatigued. I think what we're trying to differentiate between here is like stimulate versus annihilate, isn't it? So as a natural lifter, if you're fucking annihilating yourself every single session and you haven't got the same recoverability as someone that's on gear, okay, that's something to consider. But every single person's recoverability is going to be different, isn't it?
Right, exactly that. And the fact of the matter is that you're saying stimulate versus annihilate. When no one's saying you should annihilate yourself. All we're saying is that you should be fatigued when you come out of the gym. Like, if you have a hard leg day, you're probably going to grow from it. It's more likely that I have a hard leg day and grow from it than I have an easy leg day and grow from it. Like, I'm sorry, but if I came into the gym and I did 3 sets of, 2 sets on the hat squat, let's just say, or even on a leg extension, let's just say, let's take the leg extension. If I did 3 sets or 2 sets of 3 to 5 reps, my knee would absolutely collapse at some point. Like, there's no way that my knees are going to be able to maintain that amount of load for years and years and years of training. And again, there's a reason why this is a brand new thing that you guys are only now bringing in, because we just never knew that. Because, for whatever reason it is, there's a whole myriad of reasons why we've not realized that these are the ways to train. But at the end of the day, we have a result-based, bodybuilding is result-based, regardless of how you get it. No one's coming up to guys in the gym and going, or pros and going, how do you train? Oh, that's how you train. Okay. In that case, you lose. No one's saying, oh, wow, do you lift heavy or do you lift light? No one cares. At the end of the day, it's just about are you big enough? Are you lean enough? Are you shape good enough?
That's it.
All of these things are, in order, then it doesn't matter. And we're all arguing about these little things, and it's just like we're getting away from the goalposts, really and truly, right? Do you know, like back in like the 1800s, right? Coffee shops and stuff like that in the UK or in London, people used to like go there and just explain their ideas. Now people are having shouting matches with each other rather than explaining ideas, because the reality of it is, right, if we all just had the idea to come together and give our reasons and not try to be right, what you'd end up having is a whole bunch of things and theories and people agreeing with more things than they realize, and then the things that they disagree with, they could probably implement to some extent to their training, and they will probably find some sort of success. Because even us, we use 3 or 5 rep ranges, more than like 5 to 8 rep ranges, more than 3, and there's a place for that.
I think the incorrect answer here is anything to an extreme.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like if you're leaning too far towards the science-based lifting, you're going to be limiting yourself. If you're leaning way too far towards the hardcore, old school, like, you're probably to a degree going to maybe just find like a nice middle ground, take things from each one that works for you. That's probably the right answer.
5 to 8 and another set of 12 to 15. But then they'll say something like, you're accumulating too much fatigue. And then we go, but you need fatigue. But then even the question is, then if you're avoiding fatigue, it's like, what are we eating for? What are we sleeping for? Because that's the point of recovery, right? To recover from the fatigue that we've accumulated during the session. So it's like, if we all avoided fatigue, we wouldn't need to eat.
Yeah. So Yemi, what do for like your main movements then? Right, just to kind of gain a bit of an understanding of like what your training approach is for your main movements, like your presses, your pulls, anything like that. What kind of rep ranges do you work within?
So anything between 6 and 10 for my top set, and then on the back off, anything between 12 and 20.
Okay, yeah,
sweet,
and
that
then
sounds about right.
So then, all right, you finished up your main movements. Now you're moving on to a little bit of delts, and obviously you got some good delts, bro. So what we looking like?
I mean, like a lateral raise, just to say, it'd be 3 sets, anything between 12 and 20 again, but probably 12 and 15.
Nice high volume.
High volume.
Cool. Arms,
relatively.
Bicep, tricep. What are we working with?
12 to 15 again, because I do think that the arms need to pump, especially. I don't believe necessarily that you always do the pump. Like, I've definitely had sessions where the pump wasn't pumping, but I do feel like I progressed.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't agree with that in my arms. I think if my arms ain't got a pump, then I ain't trained them.
Yeah. For the last few years, funnily enough, like some of my muscle groups that have grown the most have been like my arms and my delts. And I used to really be like religious with sticking within like, oh no, these are my set rep ranges. I'd want to be, again, like battering myself too much. For the last couple of years, I've just fucking annihilated my arms and my delts. Like if I've like partial reps at the end, or I'll just do, do you know what? I'm fancying a drop set. I'll just do a random drop set for my biceps, my triceps, my delts. And I've seen the best progress that I have done for a long time. And because it's a muscle group such as the arms or the delts, when you're talking about too much fatigue, it's like you can pretty much recover from them like any day.
Yeah, and
you're
your arms are small muscle group ones, so by the time they get fatigued, they're probably not holding that much fatigue. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you double drop setting your legs and whatnot, like a leg press or a hack squat, maybe not the best idea.
Yeah, exactly, because you're gonna move so much weight, right? And you're doing like compound movements. Of course, it's gonna hurt. Of course, it's going to be a lot to recover from, but your arms are so small. Like once they hit 15 reps, they're only probably lifting, like let's just say on the cable stack, FLF and the Atlantis one, max 80 kilos on that stack.
Mm-hmm.
Between the two of your hands, that's 40 kilos. That's not that much weight in comparison to like a leg press, where you might have 2, 3, 400 kilos on there.
Yeah.
So it's not that much weight. Like, you're not moving that much weight on your arms. You can probably go to a point where they feel pretty fucked, because tomorrow they're not gonna feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But you use your arm so much. It's not like you're using your chest all the time, right? What's the point of your chest to adduct your arm? It's not like you're sitting there doing adduction on your arms all the time, but you are, picking up things, grabbing things, holding things, walking,
driving.
Driving, exactly. So you're doing so much with your arms, so much with your legs. You're probably going to need a fair bit of actual stimulant to get it.
Yeah, the muscles have learned. The muscles need to be resilient to stimulus, don't they? Because again, you use them so much. Therefore, as you said, you probably just need a lot more stimulus in order to have them grow. Just like walking around your calves all day. This is why I've got small calves. They're just resilient, boys. That's all it is.
Walking all the time, right? I'm doing all my steps, right? Okay. Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, yeah, moving on. Yemi, since getting the Olympia qualification, what is like the biggest thing to change, like mindset wise, life wise? What's the biggest thing that the Olympia qualification has done for you?
Do you know what, right? I know this is gonna sound the most contradictory ever. I've taken the biggest step back from bodybuilding since.
I knew that you were going to say it, because I know how it feels. Once you've put something like as the fucking star on the top of the tree, you achieve it, and then you're like, now what? Or like, say if there's a gap between that and then the actual going of the Olympia, you do have this no man's land period.
Right.
It's very different, but when I won the Worlds last year, I felt the exact same. I won the Worlds, I was like, fucking get in. Yeah. Now what?
Right. And the thing is with the Olympia qualification, right, is because I would accumulate the qualification to be a bit high, like a bit lower than winning the Worlds. Not because it's not as important, but just because it's like one show. You went to the show where all the best natties went to, and you beat them. I didn't go to the show where all the best athletes were at and beat them, because that's the Olympia, right? So the difference is, right, it's just, for me anyway, is that I've now realized, I've looked at what the guys are doing at the top, right? And there's two things that I've noticed. One, they're not caring about being lean in their off season. They're just adding weight. They're getting bigger. And two, they're resting. The Ronnies, the Jays, the top bodybuilders, the C-bums.
Yeah.
They all took
weeks
time
off
at the gym. Phil Heath, 4 months off the gym. 4 months off the gym. I was talking to Oscar about this, right? Because Oscar and JP were training with Phil Heath. And they were like, and he told him, yeah, I don't train for 4 months after the Olympia. And he was like, JP was like, what? How do you, like, how are you not scared of losing muscle? He had the most Phil Heath answer to this question. He said, do you know what 28 day beef is? Age beef is? He's like, yeah. Like, do you know what 32 age beef is? He's like, yeah. Well, this is 32 inch beef. It's not going anywhere. It's on the bone. I haven't gotten any smaller. I've actually grown since I've come off. You probably can attest that I look bigger every time you see me. And I've only been training 3-4 times a week since I've left. Max.
I think that's a good thing post prep though, mate. But equally as well for you, it's like, as Phil said, like Phil Heath's Phil Heath. He's top of the game. He's whatever time Mr. Olympia. And, when you've got the physique there. It's not really going to go anywhere. But obviously for you, I know this off season, and based off your feedback from Tyler, you need to fucking grow, bro, don't you?
Right. And that's what we're going to do from January. We're going to fucking hammer down and just get to work, because I know what we can do, and I know what we can do on the prep, and I know I can do in the off season. This off season, I added 6 kilos of stage weight.
Mm-hmm.
And that was with 2 months off the gym, starting my off season with 0 appetite, just force feeding food the entire time. Now I've still got my appetite. I'm already 10 kilos up from where I started, or when I came off stage. Like, everything is in order for me to be in the best position to grow.
Yeah.
Right now, I haven't gotten fat. I haven't just been a lazy cunt. I've just given my body the rest that it needs. And then once I go back into this is another conversation I have with Oscar. I have a lot of conversation with Oscar. And this is the most important one. So, let's just imagine, that bodybuilding is a spectrum, right? On both ends. So like you have the lean end and you have the fat end, right? When you're gonna for you to spend a good stint in that lean end, you have to spend a good stint in that fat end. You know, but a lot of people they don't want to move the needle this way. They only want to move the needle a little bit, and then they're gonna go back to this bit here. And then what ends up happening is that they add tissue, and then they diet it all off. They didn't spend enough time in this end here. And right now, this is me getting to this end. You know, taking that time to recover and just shifting that needle touch. Then once I start pushing my food in the off season, that's me getting to that end there. I'm gonna hold that for a little bit. Then as soon as that's all done, we're gonna go back into that, to that lean end again for the Olympia. And from my experience, like it's also like a recovery net, right? So in your off season, your whole time you're in the off season, you're basically just saving. You're putting money in the bank. And then once you finally get into the off season, into your prep, you're spending all that money. And then by the time you get into that latter end of that lean end, you're in debt. You don't have any more money left. You spent it all.
Yeah.
To get from that middle point to kind of lean. And then to get to the end point, you spent all of that recovery. You don't recover by the end of that prep, really, do you?
No.
Most of your workouts, you're feeling like crap afterwards. Most of the day, you're feeling like crap. You're tired, dragging your feet. You're doing whatever. You try to recover. You try, before you start loading. You pull down your steps. You pull up your cardio. But, how much recovery do you really get from all of that?
For yourself, I know it's going to be different from natural to enhanced because the ability to actually retain muscle tissue in a dieting phase when you are enhanced is obviously going to be greater. Versus what I've learned from natural bodybuilding is you really do need to be careful of how far you do push towards that fat end, because again, you will diet off that. Even if you spend a good amount of time there, you will fucking diet off as a natural. For yourself, though, obviously, I know the main thing was condition. How far do you actually want to push things then? Because I feel yes, even with the assistance of things helping you reserve tissue, the further you push that needle equally is going to make your prep a lot fucking harder again, isn't it?
So I don't think that there's this end point is not like a defined point, right?
No, of course not.
It's wherever you kind of put it at. As long as you're in that end point for long enough, I think that's enough to warrant what you're doing.
Yeah. How much do you have left of your cap?
6 kilos. 6 kilos.
Yeah. So,
Jesus.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot of growing to do, bro.
I did this last year, but I think even if I put 3 or 4,
it'll be a very different physique, won't it?
It'll be a completely different physique.
When you've got a small bone structure like you, it fucking looks a lot different, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But again, I want to put on the 6. I want to put on 7, really. Kilo. But again, to answer your question, I'm not going to push it too far on the fat end. My body doesn't get fat like that anyway. So
no.
I'm going to be holding shit tons of body fat. By the time I'm at my fattest, I'll still have a little bit of abs and gaps in my legs. To a point where if I diet for 4 weeks, I'll get my abs back. That's pretty much where I've always been. After 2 weeks, 3 weeks on prep, I've got abs.
Yeah. Yes. That's one thing I've learned now is just making sure that your prep start point isn't an absolute bloat lord and just making life hard for yourself,
No, I completely agree. I do think people get too fat on the off season, as well as people worrying about too lean. I think there's a middle ground. That the same with training. There's a middle ground that needs to be hit with everything in bodybuilding. So recovery, enough rest, not too much. Enough training, not too much. Enough food, not too much. Enough dieting, not too much. Everything has to be done.
Yeah.
The limit of where it needs to be done. It's even enough gear, not too much, stuff like that. There is a limit where you just aren't going to be productive, no matter what you do, if you do too much of that thing, right? So I think that bodybuilding is the weirdest sport because you have to be very much regimented. You have to be very much on the extreme, but there's a limit where too much is not going to help.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of bodybuilders, even top level bodybuilders, pros. I've heard some of the stuff that they've done, what they do, and you kind of start to go, That's why you're not doing that well. Like, yeah, you might be at the Olympia, but there's a reason why you are struggling to get there, or there's a reason why you're only placing in the top, the bottom end, or in 15th or 16th. It's because you're probably doing a bit too much. Like, I've heard some guys on like 100 IUs of fucking insulin in open. Like, you don't need that. There's a reason why the top guys aren't using that.
Yeah.
Too much of anything is bad for you, bro. Even too much water can kill you. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, mate. I have a question. So in April we trained together, and you half predicted everything that's happened this year.
Mad thing, isn't it?
It is a madness, mate. It's mental. What is your prediction for next year?
Ooh.
I'm
Come
just
on,
going to
put it out there.
2 seconds. Carry on.
All right, let's do this. Predictions for next year. Nas and I will be battling it out on the Olympia stage in that top 7.
Top 7.
I'm calling top 7. So anywhere in that top 7, so that first call out, you're going to see both me and Nas. The goal also is to help VQ grow. So I want VQ to be one of the top brands in bodybuilding. Like, I want people to think of bodybuilding and think of VQ.
Yeah.
I don't want them to be thinking about dark sport. None of these other brands. They already don't think about Gymshark, so we don't even need to worry about that side. Ash, I love you.
Ash, we love you. We love you.
Ash, I love you. But you know this is the truth. They don't think about the Gymshark over that side, right? So I want VQ to be one of the top brands when it comes to bodybuilding. I think that this year will be a very interesting year for the UK. I think that you'll probably see the most success that you've seen in classic physique from the UK period. So like up until now, I would say like either this year or the year that, so 2022 might have been the best 2 years for the UK. I think that this year 25 will absolutely smoke that.
So have you got anyone in mind when you're saying that?
Okay, so I believe that Jack Eagles and I believe Alex Kent will be top 5 or even top 3 places in shows at minimum. Winning shows, I can't predict.
Yeah.
Reason being is because you just don't know who's going to turn up, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what shows they're doing. I heard something about Jack doing Detroit.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling Detroit's going to be kind of stacked, low key.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, yeah, he can win Detroit, because I don't believe that. But, there's a show afterwards that he might be able to win or something. So, but even at a show like Detroit, I do think he's good enough to at least be in the top 5. At least.
Wow. If Jack gets in the top 5 at Detroit, he's done remarkable, because it was showing me like photos of people that he's going to essentially be going up against.
Right.
Well, I think Wesley might be doing it.
I've heard. Yeah.
So yeah, there's some bloody good guys. There's some
I'm
very established
like a team over of the Arnolds.
Yeah.
So in that case, I have Jack in that top 5.
5th.
Yeah, I mean, listen, 5th is great.
Yeah.
You have to take into consideration, what is he, 22?
Yeah.
23? So, bruh, that's a lot.
He's still a junior.
Yeah, exactly. He's still a junior, bro. He's already a pro.
Baby.
That's already enough. So even just saying top 5 and a stat lineup like Detroit is crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Jack will be top 5. I'm not sure where Alex is going, but I think Alex could be in that top 5 as well, in whatever show he looks at. He is going to be in the earlier side of the year. Technically, is easier because guys tend to do the last minute rush before the Olympia.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling that this Arnold might be a bit of a, it might throw a wrench in the water a little bit. So yeah, I do think that Alex and those two will be in the top 5. I think Eddie is coming back, and I give him top 5, maybe even the top 3 place in. He's looking big and he's looking dense, so he's got a great shape as well. So I can see him doing well. Trying to think who else is.
Is Bridgman competing?
No, I think Bridgman's taking a year out.
So he needs to put some more size on, fill that gap.
10 kilos off.
Yeah.
10, 12 kilos. So he's about where I was when I was at Ireland last year.
Jesus.
So yeah, so he's got basically double the muscle that I need to put on. So
he holds his own in a classic lineup as well, even with 25 pounds to gain.
Yeah, he does.
Jesus.
I think he's I know this sounds really ridiculous, right? But like, I don't think that 25 pounds is that much visually. Apart from does that make sense? Like, for example,
yeah, I mean, it's only what I've gained throughout my entire lifting career, bro. Come on.
When you look at, like, for example, like, when you see like Martin and Sidam at Prague, the difference facing the front wasn't that bad. It's when you kind of take a step to the side and let's say like that way on, that's where you start to realize the difference, right? Like, if you see two guys that are like a fair bit of density difference between each other and they're both in the side chest and you're just like looking at it from the audience perspective, you might not really see 25 pounds difference or that density difference. But then once you like kind of take a step to the side, then you might see the density difference. Depends on the person's shape, depending on so many things, but you know. I don't think that most guys need to be at the top of their cap to look big.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got a great enough shape, which I think Josh has, you're gonna be able to, you're gonna be able to look good next to guys. You know, like, I beat Jimmy Tonks, right? And Jimmy Tonks was 300 pounds in his off season that year. So like, I think that says enough. You know what I mean?
I think it's like Keon. Yeah. It's like Keon.
Exactly. Keon's what, 205 pounds on stage?
Yeah.
So these guys had like at least, 5 kilos, 5 pounds on them, 5 to 7 pounds on them. And he looked bigger than everyone.
Yeah. Shape win shows.
Shape win shows. And that's why I don't understand why people are so like, it's all about muscle and weight and stuff like that. Obviously, weight matters. You need to have some sort of weight, but only to some extent.
Keon was 201 pounds on stage.
Fine, 201.
11 pounds.
You got 11 pounds.
It's like adding on more size can help create better shape, but equally at the same time, you see so many people where they put on an extra 5 pounds and they look so much worse for it because they put it on in completely the wrong areas.
Exactly. This is bodybuilding, not weight building. We're not trying to just get heavy, which is what I think. I fear with a lot of guys in the UK when I look at the way that they approach their off seasons. I don't really see guys going, "Oh yeah, I've improved my weak points."
Yeah,
I just see guys putting on weight. I see guys with really bad backs, and then like they get heavier, and then their back's still shit.
Yeah.
Like, for example, let's look at Nas's example. Best example possible, actually. When he won his pro card, his back was not great. It was pretty shit, to be fair. And I'm sure he would agree. As soon as he's come back as a pro, phenomenal back.
Different back.
Completely different back. And why is that? Because he just fucking put muscle where it needed to be put on.
But this is what separates an amateur from a pro.
Yeah.
Like the pros, and I can say this firsthand, I spent so long in my off seasons bringing up areas that I thought were truly shit. And then you step on stage and that shows. Like, you don't spend more time making your strong areas even stronger.
Yeah, exactly that.
If you've got a glaring weakness.
I had crappy legs, right? Everyone was like, "Yeah, Yemi's legs aren't very good." When I won my pro card, let's just use me as an example because maybe using Nas as an example is not the best. My legs weren't great. Now, legs are juicy, bro. You know what I mean? You just gotta put muscle where they need to be put on, like even glutes and stuff like that. Like, and also not putting on too much muscle just because you think that you need muscle. That, like, I see some guys, for example, like they're like, "Well, my glutes need muscle, right? Because I need to have straight glutes," and then they throw off their entire structure because now their glutes are taking up their back pose. Like, I see some guys that hit a back pose and you're looking at their glutes more than you're looking at their back, and you're like, "This isn't good. This isn't how it should be." Like,
you've misinterpreted the challenge, my friend.
Yeah. Like, you've taken the challenge and you've absolutely flipped it on its head. Like, you need to, think about balance and condition and stuff like that, but you also need to look at the way that the flow, and I think you can build flow. I think you can build flow in your physique. I just think a lot of guys decide to not build flow in their physique, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed. Josh, did we have any questions come through?
Yes.
Was it too
I had
short?
A few.
Oh, we got questions this time. Let's go.
I've only got 4.
Okay.
That's all right.
Last time we had 1 or 2.
Yeah. We didn't have many. Do you know whenever we have you on, mate, we just post it last minute because we never know if you're going to turn up.
Mate, if I say I'm coming, I'm coming.
Good man. I like that. Right, Ian Talbot Balfe, big fan of the podcast. Nice guy. Has asked Yemi, what tribe does your family belong to? This isn't racist.
No, it's not. So
Whiteys, don't worry. That's slightly racist, Ian.
Whiteys.
No, that question is genuinely not racist, actually, in any way, shape, or form. I'm Yoruba. So
Yoruba. I think we asked you that last time. Because, I reckon Ian's got like a son. And I reckon he's going to like try and genetically modify his kids going forward. So,
problem is, right, I don't think you need to worry about tribes. You just go to Nigeria and just find someone. Because, like, I'm pretty sure Andrew Jack is from Delta State. And then I think Samson is also Yoruba. So you can just kind of like just pick and mix, man. You're good. Like, as long as they're Nigerian.
Yeah. Maybe that should be like your new line of business.
Yeah,
I'm going to source you a Nigerian sperm donor.
Yeah, legit. Like, listen, if you want some good genetics, I've got a country and they so happen to have the most black people in it too.
Oh dear. Yemi, do you celebrate Christmas?
I do celebrate Christmas.
What is your favourite Christmas song? And that is from Shay McCall.
It's a good question.
Mine is Christmas Lights by Coldplay. I think it's beautiful.
How does that go again? Sing it, Josh.
What's my favourite Christmas song?
Those Christmas lights light up the street.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
I feel like we should make a Christmas song because we can make a lot of money from it. Get one Christmas hit, good for life.
I think Yemi should like do a video where he's singing a Christmas song and he's not wearing any socks and you can see his feet, and then you'd earn a lot of money.
All right, you know
under the mistletoes.
I don't want you guys to give me wide ears, bro. God damn.
Nailed it.
This is where the empire gets built, mate. Under the
mistletoes. You could even sell mistletoes. So rather than it being like mistletoe like leaves, it could be like little molds of your feet.
Oh, fucking disgusting.
And what, you have to kiss under my toes?
Yeah, pretty much. Kiss the toes for good luck, or kiss under the toes because it's Christmas. Go on then. Favourite Christmas songs, boys?
Yeah, it's Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas. I was singing that this morning and my roommate sent me a text like, oh, do I have to pay for this thing?
Yes, obviously.
What's the one where it's like it's a guy like singing and he's drunk? I think it's like Irish.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's a little bit like offensive now.
Fairy Tale of New York, is it?
Something like that. Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
I think that's the best thing on.
You know what? I like those ones where they remix it.
I think
so, like, have you heard those? What, like the one where it's like
dubstep jingle bells.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
the weird Al Yankovic versions.
I've seen that.
And she got one girl that she does the Christmas carols, but she like moves her fake tits to it. She's like jingle bell, jingle bell. You see that? On YouTube?
That's another one you can do, mate.
Another one, yeah. Peck bouncing
jingle pecks and under the mistletoes.
and have a mistletoe.
Yeah. Jingle pecks.
Fuck's sake.
Mistletoes.
I can pierce my nipples, right? And then get like the little like.
You have to do that, bro. You have to do that. Get candy cane through them.
Too far, bro.
Like, I can get one of those like the bells, right? Like I can get a jingle bell and put them on my nipples, and then whilst I do that, it could play the jingle bells, you know?
Wow. Do you know when we see Yemi driving a Porsche, we know why.
Yeah, legit.
Once you see me living the dream, you know that there's a secret account somewhere of me jiggling my titties.
Yeah,
with jingle bells on.
I've seen some secret accounts in the industry.
Yeah, we've seen a few secret accounts, haven't we, Tom?
We stumbled across them yet.
Yeah.
Who? Let's have some hints. Stir the pot a little bit, you know what I mean? Because you stir the pot in your videos. Let's stir the pot here.
Can't do that, bro.
No, just know though, if you have got a foot account, we know.
If you've got a foot account, I've seen your toes, bro.
We've seen it, and it's not cool. It's not cool. Really, really, really not cool.
Yeah, Yemi's just hiding in plain sight right now. It's like, yeah, yeah, weirdos.
That would be crazy. All right, second question. Third question.
Right. One chest exercise for the rest of your life. What is it?
Smith incline press.
Oof.
Oh, I like it.
Tom? Got to be different.
Oh, okay. Do you know what? I'm going to say the Atlantis. No, yeah.
Yeah.
Prime incline press. Prime incline press.
Prime. Ooh, I think the Atlantis is better.
Prime pec deck.
Yeah, prime pec deck is up there. You see, that's the thing, right? Prime, the incline press, I'm not a fan. But the pec deck, I think that might be one of the best movements ever.
What resistance profile do you put it on? 5.
No. If you've got them all, you can use them all.
That's true, but I do use 2. I like 2. I like it right.
I think I'm a 5. I think I like 5.
Knock it to the 5. A little bit heavy at the bottom. A little bit, tiny bit lighter at the top.
See,
yeah. When me and Eagles do, we do both.
Like hair, and I'm pressing, and it's hard. In my head, I'm thinking, this bit here is growing. No, that's not how it works. But like something in my head just goes, yeah, this is working, this bit here.
Do you know, Yemi, I was thinking the other day, right? What my distraction thing is nature. And I saw some gorillas on Instagram just being gorillas. They don't eat steak or anything, do they?
No.
They eat fucking plants and shit, man.
Yeah. And I know, like, look, they've got different genetics. I get that. I understand that. But still, they don't eat meat. I don't think they worry about how many grams of protein they get in a day. They just eat, what is it, bamboo?
Bamboo, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, monkeys do eat other monkeys.
But I'm talking about gorillas.
That's like we're fucking you up and then we're eating you kind of thing. It's not like we need your protein.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's more like fuck with us, we eat you.
I reckon in like 20 years' time, there's going to be a completely different thing that people are worried about.
Oh yeah, mate. I think that they're gonna go from science-based lifting to science-based eating or something. This is the best way to prepare your chicken. If you cook your chicken at this temperature,
medium rare, bro.
You
medium rare chicken.
Because think about it, right? If I burnt my chicken, do I have the same amount of protein in it?
I think there is an answer for that somewhere.
And I bet the science-based lifters will find out in 20 years.
Yeah, science-based lifters. We know that there's some of you listening to this. Please tell us what the right way of eating chicken is to get the most protein out of it.
No. The amino acid profile of beef is superior to chicken, bro. You need beef, all right?
Part of me feels
that's what they'll say.
To like even have an answer to that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like I'm not from the years of conditioning though of like protein intake, complete protein sources. I've just switched to a vegan way, and I know that like it is slightly not as good. But then I'm equally like, do I really give a fuck? No.
Tommy, if I would really give a fuck. If there, if there's a 1% difference for you, bro, you've got to keep that 1%.
Do you know what? You sway me now. Although my skin is looking a lot better on my back and my face.
The only thing I will say is with the wheys and the protein powders is that it's probably not that serious. Whereas like meats are probably a bit more serious.
Yeah. For sure.
Like, you probably need a full protein, because I don't know how much whey you eat in a day, but I only eat like 50 grams per day.
Yeah. I don't really like whey.
Yeah, I'm not getting that like altogether, like protein wise, I probably get 40 odd grams of protein. Like most of my protein is coming from food.
Yeah.
Like food, not fucking whey.
Food, actual human food, but also animal food. John Freelove has asked, if you were in charge, what would be on the menu for Christmas dinner? I quite like turkey.
All right, listen to this, right? Listen to this. I have a phenomenal answer, right? I'm saying 2 meats.
2 what?
2 meats.
2 meats.
2 meats. So we gotta go turkey. We gotta go roast beef. Right.
Okay.
On the sides, we gotta get some jollof rice. Okay. And then roasties, pigs in blankets, gravy on the top, Yorkshire pudding, and a green of any choice. I'm thinking broccoli, but we could do like a green beans or even a collard green. I'm okay with that.
Oh,
What
mate,
about-
do you like cauliflower cheese?
I was literally about to say, where's the cauliflower cheese, bro?
You know what? I've never had cauliflower cheese.
Oh, right. You take us to Jollof. We'll bring some.
Yeah. The thing is, right, I'm like integrated, but I'm not completely.
I'm
not
integrated to
colonized.
white society.
I'm not completely colonized. You know what I mean? Like the issue is, right? I walk into like a carvery and they still be looking at me like I'm a nigger. So I go in there and I'm just like,
Tom, remember to bleep that out.
smash it in like really quickly. Just, okay, I'm good, and walk out. But like, yeah, I'm open. I'm open to trying new things. Like, I went to this carvery on the last weekend, I think. No, the weekend after. So not the one we just had, the one before. And they had cheese sauce.
Cheese sauce.
I was a bit apprehensive. I didn't try it because cheese sauce is a bit. I know white people love cheese. I get it, but like I was a bit like, don't get me wrong. Look at what I found at Amsterdam.
Oh wow! Doritos nacho cheese in a squeezy thing.
And so I'm not saying no cheese, but
You're half
cheese
integrated,
sauce
bro.
was throwing me a bit.
Yeah.
But I want to try this. I haven't opened it yet.
If you like that, you'll like a good Caucasian cauliflower cheese that will bring for you. All right.
100%.
Have you tried this yet?
No,
I'm gonna try that.
I would imagine that it tastes like cauliflower cheese.
Do you put? All right, yeah. Miss question quickly. Last one from me. Do you put ketchup on a roast dinner? Good.
Yeah, that's a bit dodgy.
That sounds illegal, bro. The only sauce that's allowed is gravy.
Mint
And when you
sauce.
put the ketchup on the jollof, because if you do, I'll slap you.
Unless, so yeah, like Josh said, a mint sauce if you're having lamb.
Okay, I'm okay with the mint sauce. I'm okay with lamb.
Oh, no. Pork, applesauce.
Applesauce.
I'm not okay with pork.
Cranberry sauce. Christmas dinner vibes.
I'm okay with cranberry sauce.
Cranberry and turkey.
So but I'm just not okay with pork for Christmas.
Okay.
Sweet.
I think pork is okay. I'm not like proper against pork, but I just not Christmas.
No, just pigs in blankets, and we'll just ignore the fact that they are pork.
Yeah, but completely.
Yeah. It's like pork, but not pork.
They're a side. I mean, like a main meat. Yeah, but not like I'm not doing a big like pork belly. Or like
Pork is dry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's okay in a sausage. It's okay with bacon. But a whole slab of pork,
It's a no.
there's a time and a place for it. Let's just say that. Man.
There is.
And also, if you're going turkey, you can't go turkey pork. That's 2 dry meats, bro.
Yeah. You're going to have to drown it in gravy.
But I can do turkey lamb or I can do turkey beef. I think those are 2 types. I think those are perfect. And you know what? I'm thinking about it, and the lamb sounds better than the beef. Because lamb is just...
Lamb is beautiful.
Lamb might be the best meat. Like, if I could eat lamb on my meal prep, I would be eating that lamb on my meal prep.
If it fits your macros, bro. Oh, dear. Right, Yemi. It has been a pleasure as always, mate. We have tipped over an hour. You only said one explicit one time that Tom's going to have to edit out and the people will never know what it was.
No,
yeah.
Yemi said it, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. If I say it, it's okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, my days.
Right, people, Yemi, thank you very much for joining us, mate. Where can they find you if for some reason they live on a rock and they don't follow you already?
Instagram, The Dreamer Son. It's back, The Dreamer Son.
Not the nightmare.
Oh yeah. You know what? I'm about to put that in my bio. And then TikTok. If you want to see me argue with science-based lifters, the Dreamer. Dreamer Son. Just Dreamer Son. And then YouTube's is my name. Just type in my name. You should be able to find it, or YemFit.
My name. No, it's Yemi.
Yemi.
Yeah.
Either Yemi Adefioye or YemFit, and you'll find me on YouTube.
Lovely
Easy.
stuff. Right, people, like, subscribe. Yemi, I think they should subscribe, shouldn't they?
Most definitely subscribe. Definitely like. You should put down a comment. Maybe even put in the comments, if you got this far, we should have a key word. Maybe we should say no pork on Christmas Day.
Yes, I like it. I like it.
Comment
Yemi,
no pork
mate.
on Christmas Day.
Yemi's carrying this podcast. He's bringing out all the good ideas.
Yeah, love that.
Like I said, you just add me on. 2 natties and a pro.
We'll consider it, mate. But no, thank you very much for joining us, mate. People, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we'll catch
See you next week.
in the next one. Bye-bye.